Are you the head of the family?
No.
Kody, I was just sorry.
Just stop. Why in the world would anybody think that I'm somehow behind this?
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Nothing has outraged Sister Wives fans more than the secret nanny that we just learned about in a teaser for next week's episode. And y'all, when I was watching the episode and that was dropped for next week's teaser, I lost my I was like screaming. I was like, how is this even possible? This is such a joke, because Kody Brown has basically said that no one can see anyone because of social distancing and limiting exposures. And then you have someone in and out of your house acting like that are going places with kids, taking care of things. And then this whole idea that on top of all of that, Kody and Robyn don't even work and they have a nanny. Like, Christine raised all the kids and never had a nanny. Okay, so let's unpack this. And then I also want to talk with you about a photograph that has been circulating on Reddit, also on Facebook, of Kody and a maskless Kody and Robyn out shopping in Arizona. There is a lot to unpack here. Let's start with this. The last two seasons, and we have to remember this was all filmed back in 2020. So, you know, we're still, and this during the filming, this is still the height of this. This is before any vaccines are available. And at the time, people were being very diligent about not, you know, spreading and causing exposures to happen. The irony here is that Kody ended up getting the virus at one point in time. I think he had it recently, in fact. So Kody and Robyn developed this set of rules that they say that, Robyn claims that Kody set them up, and Kody says that he set them up, but I don't even know. I don't know. I am more convinced than ever that these two developed this as a means to actually manipulate people to stay away from the other wives so he could be with Robyn all the time. And then in my video yesterday, some of you guys made a really good point that not only did they use this as a method to stay away from people, but some of you guys, when you were watching the episode, when he was sort of telling Janelle that if you want to do this and you want to be Christine and you want to take Christine's route and you don't want to follow the protocols, then I'm not coming over. One of you in the comments made this very... I hadn't even considered this, but you basically said that it's so typical that he would do this to her, because what he's doing then is he's blaming Janelle for not following the rules, thus forcing him to be able to not be with her and be with Robyn. When the truth is he's making the choice consciously to not be with her and forcing her into that decision, when really it's Garrison coming into the house and going out is no different than them having a nanny. So in that respect, he is creating a barrier or an obstacle and then putting it in front of Janelle, knowing that she'll say no, and then he can blame her when he doesn't want to fix it to begin with. Now, that was your belief in comments, but I thought that was an interesting one. So I just thought, do you guys agree with that? That he might have, it was like this gaslighting tendency. It's like a gaslighting strategy. Do you think that's what he could have been doing, or a manipulation strategy? Like, I don't want you to do this, so I'm going to create a barrier and you're not going to want to do it. And then you can say no, and then I get my way. Do you see how that works? We all know someone that does something like that. Everyone has a friend or an ex that's like that. Kody and Robyn have a nanny, and I was losing I couldn't. I was done. I was like, how do you have a nanny? What? For why? What are you doing? So Robyn, actually, I was looking through, has had nannies on and off like the entire time she's had kids. Back in 2016, she actually had a live-in nanny named Mindy Jessup, who is her ex-husband's cousin. And Mindy was with Ari and Solomon for a long time, a couple years, and lived with the family. It was to the extreme that people believed that Mindy was going to become a fifth wife. As far as I can tell, Mindy is not the live-in nanny today because I believe Mindy still lives in Las Vegas. She did not travel with them when they moved to Arizona, so they might have had to find a new nanny. Now, it begs the question though, why would she need nannies if she's not actually, if she has no job? The rest of the wives have jobs, like whether they're stay-at-home jobs or going out jobs, they're busting their butts. Like Mary has her MLMs. I hate the MLM world, but you can't fault her for working. She has her LuLaRoe and she has another one that she does. Christine does LuLaRoe, she does Plexus, and then on top of that, she does stuff for Kendra Scott. So they're all working. I'm still not, I don't know, and Janelle does Plexus. I don't know what else Janelle does, if I'm going to be honest. I don't know what she has. She used to do real estate. I don't believe she's doing real estate in Arizona, so I'm not really sure. But they've all been working their whole lives. And the entirety of the marriage between Robyn and Kody, them having jobs has been like this huge question mark. So Kody has done trade shows and he works in precious metals, allegedly. And Robyn has never had a job outside of Sister Wives Closet. So she started the Sister Wives Closet and then that closed in 2019. So she doesn't have a job. So if you don't have a job and you're at home with your kids and you only have two littles and the rest are older. So two of her kids at this point have graduated high school, right? So she's got like, I think one that's in high school, like 10th or 11th grade, who probably doesn't need a ton of her attention, and then Ari and Solomon. And she's not working, so what does she feasibly need? And they don't film all the time. Like I can understand needing a nanny for filming purposes, but you're not filming every day when you do reality television. It's not 24 hours a day. It's not 7 days a week. Filming is usually strategically on a few days, maybe a 3 or 4 a month. And then the rest of that time, what? What is she doing that she needs a nanny? I mean, sure, yes, it's nice to have help around the house, but then this is also the same couple that constantly can't pay their taxes and refinances their house like every year. That's right, just last week they refinanced their house again. Now, some of the outlets are saying it was an urgent loan. I read through the documents. It's not urgent. It was time is of the essence, which is a part of the actual loan. Kody did not write that. And yeah, they refinanced. I think they might have had a loan that was maybe a short-term loan and they just rolled it into a 30-year. They did a regular mortgage and then a home equity line. So they have 2 mortgages. So they are refinancing their loans and they were out shopping maskless. Oh my gosh, we have to get there in a second. But what is it that they're doing that they need to have a nanny that she can't do? You have to remember Christine, when Christine was the stay-at-home mom, she raised everyone's kids. She had 12 kids and no nanny. I don't know if it was 12, but it was a lot. I mean, yeah, I mean, she and Janelle had all the kids back to back to back to back, and she was the one that took care of them while the other ones worked. So Christine didn't get a nanny. What is so special about Robyn that she gets a nanny? Is there something about Robyn that we don't know? Does Robyn have an illness that we don't know about? Does she have some mental health issues that we don't know about? Like, is there something that they're withholding from us that would require that she have a nanny? I just don't understand why she needs a nanny, especially if you're not working full time. Like, I'm not trying to mom shame here, but why do you have a nanny? Christine raised 12 kids. Okay. Whew. Just more preferential treatment by her, by Kody. And obviously this is going to make Christine mad, right? And a lot of you guys in comments on my Instagram were just like completely outraged about the nanny stuff. So, and we'll get to the mask stuff here in a minute, but someone said this: I have never been so angry at a TV reality person in my life, at Robyn. When I asked like what she was doing all day, this is what someone said: sleeping. She sleeps until 1 or 2. Is what I hear. I believe Janelle said that. It's ridiculous. She acts like her kids are babies. And you know, Christine is thinking, I took care of 12 kids every day by myself and homeschooled them without a nanny. What do you need one for? That's totally what Christine's thinking in my mind. Someone else said this: I don't think anyone should be shamed for having a nanny except in this situation. I'm so happy Christine left. Mary is just breaking my heart this season. I hope she can shake the brainwashing off. And then someone else said she needs a nanny. Does she have multiple infants? And then finally this last comment was, so Robyn has a nanny to help her, but Kody couldn't quarantine for 2 weeks at Christine's in preparedness for his daughter to come home for surgery. No wonder they are not filming each family at home and in their homes. Wasn't each family supposed to have been filming their families during quarantine? Why are they only filming outside as a bash session where we have to hear Kody repeat, I'm not the head of the household? Oh my gosh. I'm so sick of him saying that. I'm not the head of the household. How many seasons do we need to hear that? Start filming Robyn's home. Let's see what really goes on behind those doors. That is something I'm noticing, is that they're literally not inside at all. And this is, again, before they had all kinds of protocols for reality television, and it was also before the vaccine. So maybe we might get inside, but they were supposed to be filming themselves inside. So they're always outside filming constantly now. They're never inside. Is that for the safety of the film crew or what? And why aren't they filming inside Robyn's house? Have you guys noticed at all that there has not been any Robyn storyline this season at all? Have you noticed that? You go to Robyn's house and there's nothing going on there. Like, you have Janelle's storyline, which is the stuff with her kids. You've got Mary and the bread and breakfast and being lonely. And then you've got Christine with her kids and Ysabel and the strained marriage. But Robyn and Kody don't have a storyline, like, at all. We do not see Robyn in her day-to-day life of what she's doing. We don't see Robyn's drama. We don't see Robyn's issues. We really don't have a storyline with Robyn. She's like not even a factor. This past episode and the episode before, she's like this accessory to the show. And it's really weird. Like, I was like, why doesn't Robyn have anyone at her house? Like, why don't we have any Robyn storylines? What's going on with Robyn? Or is it that Robyn's not wanting to do this? Is Kody protecting that because he doesn't want to show what's happening? I mean, something feels very off to me about that. I mean, Robyn was barely in last week's episode. She was barely in the week before. She was barely in the week before. Why is she never in the episodes? What's going on? Are they trying to protect this relationship? Like, he can go on and bash all the other wives, but he has to protect his one with Robyn. So on top of all of that, hypocrisy with all of the stuff with COVID and how he abandons Ysabel in her time of need, he was actually spotted shopping out recently with Robyn without a mask. Now, I realize this again was recently versus the time when all of this was happening, but I have this sense that Kody's ideas about COVID have not changed. So here's what I found. It was on Reddit's subreddit of TLC Sister Wives, and this actually comes from a Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey, who has a podcast. Do you guys listen to her podcast? I've actually listened to a few of her podcasts. I like her stuff. This is what it said. It was a picture of Kody and Robyn, no masks, shopping. And it says, look who I ran into last night at Victoria's Secret in Scottsdale's Fashion Square Mall with his favorite wife. He came in with his booming voice looking for a bag he'd left behind the night before. Instead of trying to sneak a pic, I asked them for one instead, and he was more than happy to oblige. He did, however, say, we prefer that you're socially distanced, just like on the show. So he made me take it as a selfie 6 feet apart, which was so awkward. He was quite friendly, and Robyn was kind of standoffish, and she's surprisingly much taller in person. I asked him what they were doing out of Flagstaff, and he said there's no shopping there, good hiking, but no shopping. And I wondered if I should tell him that there's 4 for $32 panties for sale, but then I remembered he only needed to buy 3. You guys, that last line was brilliant. So he takes her out shopping. Is that why? Is this where they need the nanny? So do you get the idea that maybe when they're not filming, Kody and her are just like romping around, like living life, like acting like nothing's going on, going shopping, having lunch, doing things together, not working, because God forbid you work when you're Kody Brown. They definitely don't work, allegedly. Doing cameos for $100 a pop. Like, is that why they need a nanny? Is so they can go shopping? So they can live the bougie life? I mean, if you have to think of it this way too, is he's got Robyn in $1 million home, a damn near $1 million home, and Miss Janelle had to live in an RV on the property by herself. The inequitableness of the marriages here is so stark, is so glaring this season, and I am so done with him. Like, are you guys sick of Kody as much as I am? Would you watch a show just with Christine and Christine? I would watch a show just of Christine. She's so funny. I would love to see her do baking. She's such a good cook. Do you ever watch her stuff on Instagram or on Facebook when she makes her like baked goods? That woman is like such a good cook. I want to eat her rolls. She always posts rolls on the holidays. She's so funny too. I just love her. I love Christine. And Mary's always funny on her Facebook lives. I just want her to leave. So what do you think about them going out maskless? Again, it's a year later, but seriously, maskless, making them socially distanced. So he even tries to control strangers. Robyn being standoffish, I've actually heard that from other people, so that doesn't surprise me. What are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts about what the nanny does? What are your thoughts about Christine's reaction? Do you think that was the tipping point for her? I'm just going to say this with my all following up at the end round, like, thing is, if I were Christine, I would have been so furious if I found out that he had a nanny living in the house or going to the house secretly without any understanding or communication about that, knowing that they didn't go to a surgery for my daughter having a spinal surgery, and then he has a nanny going in and out of the house, and he's demanding everyone follow protocols, but if he can have a nanny coming in and out of the house. Like, I would be so furious. And honestly, I think this had to have been her breaking point. If nothing was, it was the way that she and Ysabel were treated and discarded by Kody. So that's how I would feel. If you agree, tell me in the comments below. And then what do you think about why they have a nanny? Don't worry. It's okay to question this. We're not mom shaming this time. Bye, guys.